I caught this yesterday, and this guy actually does really good information on vaccines. Oh, I gotta slow it down. And I gotta put the volume up. And here's the title of it. Okay. I love what he says.
Truth Train Radio on Facebook, truthtrainradio.com on the internet.
He's sharing a story because his granddaughter died from vaccine injury.
I want to talk about the flu shot. First, it's fucking bullshit. If someone approaches you with a flu shot and is pretty adamant, punch the motherfucker in the face. Because the flu shot will murder your baby before it murders you. And it will make you sterile or infertile. So, when someone approaches me about the flu shot, I get ready. I stand back and I'm gonna load. I'm gonna lock into them. I'm gonna knock the fucking shit out of them. So, flu shot murdered my grandbaby. My daughter, I tried to tell her, tried to inform her. It was very difficult because her mother's a nurse. So, she believed her mother over top of me, even though I've been researching it at that time probably 32 years. So now we have to try to get through that. Her mother had a baby after we were divorced that never developed kidneys. And when I talked to her, she called me to tell me that she was pregnant. Well, that's cool, but you probably shouldn't get the flu shot, even though you're like a first or second year nurse's student. They're going to try to tell you that you have to get the flu shot in order to be a nurse or a nurse student. Well, bullshit, because you're pregnant, you should never poison your body.
That's right.
Ever, let alone when you have a baby inside you. So she got the flu shot.
That all changed with the swine flu 09, and now they push it.
Anyways, and her baby never developed kidneys. It's a condition called amelia. When your development, your gestational sequencing has been short-circuited for any part of assembling the baby, it's called amelia. So that happened to my ex-wife. My grandbaby was murdered by the flu shot. I know of at least 2 people at work that fell out after the flu shot campaign came through for one day. A handful of people went in there and got a free flu shot and proceeded to come down on the floor and work the next day and fall flat on their face. We had to call an ambulance. We had to have medical. I'm not breaking any HIPAA laws because I'm not mentioning any names. But just the idea that that would happen so close to the flu shot campaign that came into the plant is more than coincidence. So again, when they approach you with the flu shot, ask them, how do you authenticate what is in the vial?
That's right.
Ask them, do you use a fluorescence test? Do you use a bacteria count?
Nope.
Do you use a mass spectrometer?
Nope.
Do you use a centrifuge?
Nope.
Electron microscope? How do you test for metals in the vial of vaccine? How do you do metallurgy?
Well, they probably do because they want a good amount of heavy metals into our brain.
Basically, that's in the vial. They have no idea. Doctors and nurses who inject you have no fucking idea what is in the vial.
One thing I got to bring up. During that 09 swine flu debacle, from the early flu that came from Mexico City near the Baxter lab, by the way, our local talk radio hosts that are pretty conservative and bright were saying that, well, I'm going to go with what my doctor tells me. He wouldn't do anything that would hurt me. Gee, I wonder why nurses are refusing this mandate to get vaccinations, flu vaccines, or lose their job. And by the way, some nurses in Pennsylvania sued, got millions. But they're doubling down on this approach. They want like a 90-something% compliance rate with vaccines scheduled with children in pediatricians' offices and in hospitals for flu vaccine. It's gone from, well, you get punished and you wear a mask for 5 months to you lose your job. But I'm not going to put this man here really knows his stuff. He has studied this, and in this video, he goes on to explain all the different things it can do to your body. But I love his attitude in general too, though.
Water. It could be septic water out of the septic tank. You have no idea. They have no idea.
That's right. So yeah, for all that, so like I said, for people who have family members and older people, the old people in your family you care about, please warn them strongly not to get the flu vaccine, especially this year with the squalene added to it. But and every year since '09 they've added they still have the swine flu portion mixed with whatever other virus they have in there. But too many people have that white coat syndrome. They trust their doctor and they think the doctor knows. Doctors don't know anything, and they're brainwashed through the Rockefeller medical system. By the time they're done 10 years, and their first year or two starting out, they're sleep deprived on purpose. By the time they're done with all that and they got tons of medical bills, they're not about to look into anything that might threaten their livelihood. Yeah, that's part of the plan.
There's rumors going around that there is fluoride now in
I wouldn't doubt it.
Injections and glyphosate.
And fluoride is probably the way we got this far. This bad this far. It's a drug that makes us complacent, compliant, lowers the IQ.
What is in the vial?
And everything else.
Tell me how you find out what.
I love what he says here.
Liver doesn't know what to make.
Right.
And they're putting glyphosate, fluoride, all these things that are known metallic
MSG, polysorbate 80.
For a purpose. Again, if they tell you you have
aborted
to do a
baby
flu shot
tissue.
and they come at you violently, punch the motherfucker in the face.
That's right.
And tell them that I said that. And if you want, hold them, and I'll come punch a motherfucker in the face.
I shouldn't laugh. I mean, he's giving testimony of people, his own grandbaby killed. But he's got the right idea.
I'm pretty pissed off that they murdered my grandbaby.
Yeah.
So I'm not sitting down. I'm not fucking happy about this at all. I don't like talking about it. It's very personal. So,
wait, I missed one part.
Protein is not tagged with what it is. Protein and take it where it goes. If the vagus nerve has the frequency to guide it.
He really explains
this well. It doesn't know where to go until the vagus nerve tells it where to go. So you could tag a bunch of G proteins in the mother's liver, but if you don't tell them, there's not assembling her, he's assembling something other than her. How critical it is. Now they're pushing this on younger and younger children.
Yep.
They're pushing it on pregnant women, and they're putting glyphosate, fluoride, all these things that are known metallic.
I missed.
Able to communicate with the somatic cell directly.
So please check out his Truth Train Radio.
So 8 or 9 weeks gestation, you poison the vagus nerve with a flu shot with aluminum, mercury, lead, fluoride, and all this stuff. Now the vagus nerve.
All right.
Is.
So the point is, aside for this weapons of mass destruction pandemic, they don't even have to vaccinate us all. They could just get it going like Ebola out in the population, and then it can spread that way. But other than that, you'll know if they start to mandate strongly at gunpoint, checkpoints. The RSOE, where is that? Shoot, I used to have it up here. It's that's not it. It's global, like earthquakes, world events. They consider measles like a biological event, and there is provisions in our government for different states to have checkpoints and test people and have them prove they've been vaccinated in an epidemic, pandemic. So, but aside for that, the flu vaccine is like today. There's people getting it every day. That's something that you want to especially with seniors. They'll be pushed for sure. Probably most of them already got it. They like to like give it out free and advertise and use mainstream media, and so anyhow, this at least if we know the history of '09, what happened, that U.S. Baxter Pharmaceuticals made, and there's a patent there. I don't know if they directly made it or had help, but I mean, they dug up frozen bodies, or a body of somebody who died from the Spanish flu, to reconstitute this virus, and then make a vaccine against it. Wasn't that long ago. So anyhow, I guess that's it. And vitamin C, staying up on good levels of vitamin D, which I just heard should be taken with vitamin K, the better form of it, and high doses, grams of vitamin C during illness. Vitamin C alone in really high doses can bring people back from the brink of death from all sorts of things, as well as Lugol's iodine medicine that used to be used for a lot of things, and elderberry syrup. That's a really good one. And do-it-yourself fire cider or fire water, which is basically a tincture with vinegar with garlic, onions, ginger, horseradish, hot pepper, something else I'm forgetting. But I mean, you can add things to it or do some of, it doesn't, there's no exact recipe, but that's something good to have on hand too, to keep your immune system strong and or lessen if you get the flu or a cold, the severity, along with even like the what else? Oh, echinacea. That's another good one. So there's a lot of good, natural, healthy ways to keep ourselves protected from flu. But okay, that's it.